Let us solve the exercise number 1 in the part B of PHP MySQL lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to write a PHP program to implement a student registration form using the following controls, namely the labels, text boxes, text area, check boxes, radio buttons, select and submit buttons. These control has to be used to accept the first name, the last name, the address, email, mobile, city, state, gender, hobbies, and blood group. Finally, we are supposed to display the user inserted values in a new PHP page in a neat format. So let's go ahead and let's solve this particular problem. I have with me the NetBeans. There are two ways in which you can create the project. One is you can use the existing project and add a new page. The other one is you can create a new project altogether. So if you are creating a new project for one exercise, which is really not a recommended option, you can still do that by clicking on the file and new project, and then selecting the PHP as your option, and then select the PHP under the project, that is the PHP application. Click next. Give any name to your project, like you can say exercise B1, and then finish it off. There is nothing else you need to do. But I will not be doing this one because it's going to create too many projects in the PHP project window. You can alternatively, you can use the existing project. So if you notice on the right hand side, you will see this projects. If it is not visible, you can go to this windows and then select the project as your choice. Once you do that, you will see this project. Generally, these projects will be appearing like this. It will be usually pinned onto the your work area. You can use this minimize button to minimize it, and whenever you want, you can get them back. So if you click outside, it will vanish. If you want it to be pinned, you can just dock it here. It will appear there, or you can just minimize that particular window. Now, suppose if your name is Anita, and you have already created too many projects, and you want to add a new project or new page to your existing project, what you can do is you can go to your project here, and then within your project just right click and then say new, and then PHP web page. So I won't be going for the PHP file, rather I will go to the PHP web page because I want to have the PHP embedded inside this web page. So I'm going to just click web page, and then I'm going to go over here and then give a name to this one. Now because this is the exercise B1, I'm going to just say exercise B1 and then finish it off. As usual, there will be two lines of remarks that are added by the NetBeans. I'm going to just delete them because they will not make any difference in the project. Let us start with the title, and I'm going to say this is student registration. I'm going to say student registration. Done. As of now, I don't need any PHP part. Let's look at the what we are supposed to do it. I'm going to use the H1 H2 tag here, and I'm going to just say student registration. So I'm going to say student registration. Get done. After that, let me create a form as of now, and I'm going to use the method as post. So generally, when you have a lot of things to be sent, the better option you use the post method here. Now there are a few things you must understand here. One important thing that you must understand is they have exclusively said they need to use the labels. So that means you have to have the labels. Then they said that in a neat format. That means they want you to get the things in a neat format. There are many ways in which you can get the things in neat format. One using CSS, which you have studied in the previous semesters. The other option is to use the table. Then I feel like if you want a very quick formatting, Better option is to use a table. So I'm going to just use the table here. How do you create a table is you just say table and you use the slash table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a create a table like this, and the table will have two columns and multiple rows will be there. Within that table there will be many rows will be there, and for everything, like for example, if I want to have the first name of the student, so I'm going to say first name, and then on the next column I'm going to put a text box, and then maybe last name, and then I'm going to put a text box. So this is how I'm going to create it. So I have created a table. So this is the table that I have created. Within this table, there will be multiple number of rows. So there will be many rows. Every row will have two columns. So this is what I'm going to do it. So there will be multiple rows. Every row has two columns. So how do I create a row in HTML is to use tr. How to create a column is, this is one column. This is the second column. So this is what I have created. So I just created a table. Within this table, I am creating one row. This is the one row. And there will be two columns. So this will be the first column and this will be the second column. Now within this column, let's start adding it, because they said we are supposed to use the labels. So I'm going to use start with the label. So let's go ahead and let's put the label. So I'm going to say label, and for then you have to specify the ID. Now I have not given the ID. I'm going to give that ID name later, and I'm going to say what is this one. This is first name. It has first name. Now this ID will be used by a text box. So I'm going to say input. Type is text box. So let me say text, not tell, text. Okay. Then I have to use the ID. Now I'm using this ID because I have given the for this ID. This label is meant for this particular control. So that is the meaning. So ID is used by the JavaScript or the front end. The name is the variable name that you are using it in the PHP. So this is for the front end. In the same way, I'm going to give the name, again name. So there are two differences are there. This ID is for the browser itself. This ID that you are using, this or this variable name, is for PHP. So this will be used by the PHP, and the other one will be used by the JavaScript. So is it going to create a problem? You know very well it's not going to create a problem. So don't worry. You can use different names, ID different name, and name different name. So definitely you have to change that name here also if you're changing this ID name. But if you use the same name, it will reduce the confusion. Okay, then let's say this is required. Okay, and that is it. So this is what you have created. Let me save this one and let me run this project. Remember, if you are creating single project, you can always run by clicking in this one. But if you are adding one file to the existing project, just right click on this project and then select run. Anywhere in the blank area, just right click and you get the option to run this project. That means run this file. Keyboard shortcut is Shift F6. Run this one and you will notice this is how it's going to appear. So you will see that there is one row with the two columns. The first column will contain the label. The second column will contain the text box. Same way I'm going to repeat it for the second one. So they said the first name and the last name. So I'm going to do it again. I will not type it. I will select this whole thing, that is the tr. This is going to be the one row, Control C to copy it, okay, and then go down by pressing enter and then paste it. So you have two rows now. The second row is for the last name, so I'm going to say this is last name. Definitely the ID is last name and the name is also a last name. So let me save it, and if you to save it, Control S is the keyboard shortcut, or you can always use this one. If it is grayed, it is already saved. If it is not saved, you can just click on here to save. Now if I refresh it, you will notice that there will be, the only difference is I have to change this one as last name. So there will be two columns, and let me simply change this one as last name. Okay, I'm going to say last name. So save it, and then we are done with it. Okay, so last name. Let's go ahead with the next part. Next part is what you have is the text area, because you have the address. Generally, address will come in the text area. I'm going to copy this, Control C to copy it. Press enter, Control V to paste it. Now this is label is for the address. I'm going to say ADD for short for the address. You can always write the full form address, but I will make it as short form ADD, and this one is also ADD. This one is address. However, there is a major difference here, and that is this is not the input. This I'm going to change it, and I'm going to say this is a text area. So this is going to be text area, and you know very well, if you are creating a text area, you have to close that text area. So this is the opening tag of the text area. You have to close the opening tag by putting slash text area. So this is required only for text area. You need to close it. Okay, so opening and closing tag is required. This is how it's going to appear. If you want, you can specify the number of rows and columns, but I won't be doing it. So if you just refresh it, this is how it's going to appear. So you got the text, the address, and what else I have. The next one is the email, next one mobile, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and let's do it. I'm not going to copy this one because it is a different one. This is text area, but I'm going to copy the row that has the input box here. So Control C to copy it, go down and press enter and paste it. Then what I have is the next one, what was there, email. So I'm going to call it as email, and the ID is also email, and the last name, the name is also email, and this one is again e-mail. How did they have they have written it? Email. Okay, this is not the text area. You can have the email as your option, and that is required. So if you look at here, you got the email. So let's go ahead and let's copy this one, Control C and Control V. I think next one is the mobile that they expect us to do it. So let's go ahead and add the mobile. So this is going to be mobile. So the label for the mobile, remember whenever you are saying label, you have to have the corresponding ID label for this one. Okay, so this is the ID. Next one, let me make it as a mobile. Now this type of it is telephone. Let's say TEL or telephone. So you got the mobile, and what else you have? Let's and if you want, you can just see it. So I will change this one as mobile, not email. This is mobile. So let me put the proper mobile. Okay, done. Now I think it is appearing. Mobile has come. Control C to copy and Control V to paste. Done. And what else you have is what else you have? City state. So let's go ahead and city state. So this is going to be city. I will change this one also city. This is city, and this one is also city. And the input type. So input type is text. So there is nothing called as city there. But type is text. Again, I'm going to copy it, Control C to copy it, and then paste it, Control V to paste it. Then I'm going to say state. This is going to be state. This is going to be state, and this is going to be state. Done. So we have done with the city and the state. It's all done. Let's look at the next one. Next one is the gender. Now, when we talk about the gender, so gender is either male, female, or transgender. I will stick on to only male and female to reduce the typing. Not that I'm not considering that. You can have a transgender also, but to reduce, you are writing a program for the examination, so unnecessary making it a lengthier one could be a problematic to review during the examination. So let's go ahead and let's do the next part is the gender. So I'm going to just copy Control C and Control V, and then I have the gender. Okay. This one is also gender. Okay. Now this is not the what to say text box. So this is going to be a radio button. So this is a radio. So if you want, you can just use the radio. And then this is going to be gender, and this one is also gender. However, when we talk about this gender, there is nothing called as a required for that one. And here I'm going to say this is what to say, let's say male, MALE. You can specify the values also. So what values will be sent? So you can use anywhere you can use it. So this for this input tag, I'm going to specify the value. Without value also will work, but let me specify the value once. So value is male. Okay. And then let me remember I need two more things. So this is the, if you look at here, this is one column and this is the other column. Remember, TD means one column and this is the second column. In the second column, I want two options to come. One is for the male, the second one is for the female. So I'm going to go here and the same thing, gender, and only the value I'm going to say this is female. The value is also female. Okay. FEMAL. Okay. There is a F. Okay. So done. Now if you look at here, so there will be two options. One is male, one is female in the same column. Okay. So if you look at here, there will be two options, male and female as your option. Okay. If you look at here, by default, none of them will be opted. Suppose if you want something to be opted, then what is the option you have to use? Again, this is extra. You can make it again. I'm writing it within the input tag. So I'm going to say this is checked. So how do I going to say is this one? Where is it? Checked. Okay, there is nothing checked equal to. It's just checked. Now what I'm done is for the female, I have made it put the attribute as checked. What is the option? So if I refresh it, remember I'm saving it every time whenever I type something, I press Control S. You can click here to save it, or Control S, which is a keyboard shortcut, to save it. Now because I have made this female as checked, what is going to happen? If you look at here, by default female will be checked. If I do the same thing for the male, I just cut this one, and if I say for the male, you can put it anywhere. You can put right at the beginning also. So if I say it is checked, then by default, if I just refresh it, by default male will be checked. So option is yours because I am doing it for Anita. So this is for Anita. So I assume that she will make a female as the choice. So let's go ahead and let's go for this option. So that will be the gender. What is the next thing that you have it here? What is the next thing? Next thing that you can have, where is the hobbies is gone. this hobbies. I think hobbies is the next option. So where is it? Let me go ahead and let me copy it. I'm not going to copy this one. I'm going to copy the other one, which is easier one. This has two options there. So this particular column, we look at this column, there are two options are there. One is for the male, the other one is for the female. So I've copied the previous one and I'm going to just press after TR and I'm going to paste it. Now the next one is hobbies. So let's say hobbies. Now hobbies, I'm going to use the check boxes. I think I will differ with the option. I'm going to just copy this one itself. Where is my TR? I'm going to copy this one. That will be easier. Control C to copy it and Control V to paste because it is going to be the same kind of thing. So I've copied this one and then pasted it. So this is going to be hobbies. ID is going to be hobbies and this is also hobbies and this is also hobbies. You Control C it and paste it. Okay, this is hobbies. Now this one is going to be not the radio buttons. This is going to be check boxes. You can just type CHE, control space it, and you get it. Again, type CHE, control space, and you get it by the. It will be done automatically by the NetBeans. I don't want anything to be checked in. So what are the hobbies that you can have? Okay. So hobbies, what you can have is you can have reading as one hobbies. You can have what is this singing as one hobby. Now this one must be reading only, and this one must be singing. So yeah, I'm going to put one more just to make it slightly different. And what else you can have? You can also have dancing. Then let's look at them in action. So I've saved it by pressing Control S. If you refresh it, you're going to get a gender, not gender. So there is that thing on. It is here. So this is hobbies. Done. Control S to save it, and then you have the hobbies, reading, singing, and dancing. So if you notice that I am not going to make anything as the checked in. The reason is there may be somebody who is interested in coin collection. That is his hobby. Or maybe stamp collection as the hobbies, or something else is the hobbies, which is not there in this. In that case, the person will not select anything because they will say that my hobby is mountain climbing. In that case, it is not there. Okay. So they will not select any one of them. So here, I assume that there are only two genders are there. Either you have to be male or you have to be a female. So that is done. Let's go ahead with the next one. What's the next thing that you have it here? Next thing is you have the blood group. So I'm going to this time definitely I'm going to select the row with I will select this one TR, not the other one, the normal TR, okay, with only the input box, okay, because it's going to change altogether. After TR, I'm going to paste it. This is one more row. Remember TR, TR, TD, TD. So this is for what is the next one? Blood group. So I'm going to just say blood, and here I'm going to say blood group. Done, and this is also this is not required. The reason is I'm going to tell you now. I need the last option what they have said. Let me make this one TD. So this is the second column. This is the first column, and this will be the second column. Like how you get it here. This will be the first column, and this will be the second column. Now in the second column, what they have expected us to do is the last thing that they expect us to do is to use a select option. So if you notice here, they expect us to use the select option. So let's go with the select option. For this column, I'm going to use the select option. So this will be slightly different. So I'm going to say select. As usual, ID I'm going to use is blood, and name I'm going to use is blood. That is done. And within the selection, I'm going to use the options, you know very well. So the first option, I will use the blood group is A plus and slash option. So this is A positive. Let me copy it, Control C, and B positive. So you have different types of blood groups are there, and what you have, I don't think so. You have a C positive, you have O positive, then again we have A negative, and then you have B negative, and we have O negative. In the same way, we may have AB positive and AB negative. You may have other blood group also. I am not sure about whether what is your blood group. I will just use these many are enough for me. So I'm going to say it is not coming properly. Easiest option is right click anywhere in the blank area and then say format. So if you say format, it will be automatically formatted for you. Control S to save it, and then just to see how is it going to appear. Blood group is A positive, B, and so on. So forth. You get the blood group. You may have other blood group, but if you find something new in a research paper, a new blood has come, well and good. We have no objection. You can put it, but that much is enough for the examination. Control C to copy it. Again, I need one more row. I will take a row with only labels and the input box, simple one. Okay. If I take this one, then I have to delete too many lines there. So after TR, I'm going to just paste it. Okay. If it is not coming properly, just use format it. So what is the next one? Remember, the last thing that I'm going to get over here is a button. Okay. There is no label. In this area, you don't get any label, but only the button will come. So let me go ahead and remove this label. This time the label is not required. On the other side, okay, input type is submit. I'm going to say submit. I don't need ID because I will not be using the ID there. And I'm going to call this one as button, short form for this one. The required is not there. And I'm going to say value is a register because it's a student registration. I'm going to say value is register. So let's save it, Control S to save, and I'm going to just refresh it, and you have this register button. This area I've kept it blank, so nothing will come, no label in this area, only register will come. So you are going to fill all the details here, and once you fill the details, say if you say Anita, okay, and some name Anita A, and some number, address Anita at Anita's house, some, and email Anita at email.com. Okay. Mobile one, where is it gone? Mobile 12345678990, I think. Okay. City is Mangalore. Okay. State, say Karnataka. Then female, then reading, and so on and so forth. And then say blood group, you select something, then say register, and it is register. So what has to be done? If I'm just pressing back arrow so that I don't have to type again and again. So what am I supposed to? This is how come this has come here, Mangalore. Okay, something has come here. So you can type like a house number. I have shown an example, but I thought I will not do that thing. So you can have the different phone numbers and different email ID, and then check it. Okay, but that is for the final one. Now the major question is, what am I going to do if you click on this register button? Okay, that is the one that question has to strike you. Now what am I going to do it? So what is that? You are going to, let's say, where is it? Create a new page and then display it in the a neat format. So that's what they say. So when I click on this button, it has to go to new page. So I'm going to add a new page. How to add a new page? Again, go to this project. By the way, the project is not visible. Go to window and project. Now go to your project. Don't add it to somebody else's project. So project in which you are working. So I was working in this Anita's project. So I will right click on the project title here, not here and there. So only directly on the project title, where you can see this PHP. You click on the down arrow, you see that. Right click and then say new and then say web page. You can give any name. I'm going to say EXB1. This is EXB1, and I'm going to say response. Okay. And if you notice, I have not put the spaces for these words. I made it as single word. It is better you make it as a single word. It is not required. It is an advisable not to make put the spaces in the file name. You yourself will get confused if you put spaces. Okay, done with it. So I have created two pages in my project. One is the exercise B1, which is the original exercise, and exercise B1 response. That will be the, okay, so one will be the input file, the other one will be the response. Now in the EXB1 here, you can, if you have closed it, just double click here. Remember, always double click on the icon, not on the text, because if you double click on the text, you may end up in renaming the file. So when you click on this form B1, it has to go to this exb1.response. How am I going to do that? Let's go back to my original form here, and in the form I gave the method as post. Now I'm going to say one more attribute here, and I'm going to say action. Action is, what is the action? I'm going to use control space, and the NetBeans will help me out with the action. And I'm going to select the second option, that is this is my file where the response has to come. So that is the file name, you notice that. So I'm going to use control and space, and I'm going to select this one. Double click on it, and it's selected. So what happens now is, when this form is submitted, it will go to that response file. It will go to that response file. In that response file, we are supposed to do something. Okay, so when I click on that button, it will come to this file. Now in this file, we are supposed to handle everything. Again, as usual, there will be two lines of remark statement, which is not required. And when this whole thing will come here, so this will go to this page is submitted when you click on this register button. What is the name of that button? So if you look at here, the name that I gave for my submit button is the button. So I'm going to use that. So if let's go to this PHP story, I will write student registration details. Okay. So let me write this one. If is that button clicked, how do I say? Is set, because I'm using the method as post. Within this post, I'm going to search for that button. So if that button is clicked, so what is that I'm saying? Within this post, if that button is there, that means if that button is clicked, this button BTN is clicked, then I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do something else. What is that I'm going to do? Else, what is that I'm going to do? Okay. I'm going to say in an echo statement, I'm going to say I will use the h2 tag here. Okay. Student details are not available. Okay. Slash h2. Okay. So I can put a semicolon here. So if I directly run this one, remember I can click this button. I can click this button and go to that response page, or if I directly execute this one, that means without pressing that button, what is the output that I'm going to get? I'm going to just run this one and I'm going to show you. So what I'm going to get is student details are not available. So if you directly come here without clicking that button, then what you're going to get is student details are not available. Suppose if I click on this button, then I am supposed to show all the output, all the inserted values in a neat, you have to show the inserted value in a neat format. So let's go ahead and let's show that thing. So if somebody clicks on that button, then I am supposed to show it in a neat format. I will show it in HTML. So I'm going to break this PHP here and I'm going to start a PHP here. So in between, if you notice that this is one PHP and the other one is the other PHP. In between you have the HTML and I'm going to put that HTML. What is the HTML I am supposed to do it? I'm supposed to show all these inserted values in a neat format, which is, this is again, if you notice that this is already in a neat format. Again, I have to show the same thing in a table. I have to create a table with the two rows, with the two columns in every row. And I'm supposed to do it. Now I'm not going to waste my time in doing it because I've already done that thing. I'm going to go back to my page here and I will copy this student registration. Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it, and I'm going to say student registration details. And then I'm going to go back and select this table. You see this table and slash table. If you notice here, you will see a minus sign. If you click on this, it becomes positive. That means whole 64 lines are hidden. If you click on it again, it will expand. Now from this table, starting of the table till the end of the table, that whole thing, table to table, whole thing, starting from this table to the slash table, the whole table, the full whatever you have written, this whole table, what you have done, this whole table, I'm going to copy it. So I will use Control C, copy it. And without this form, I don't need form because I'm not going to submit it here. So I don't need that form. Only the table to slash table is copied. And I'm going to go to this response sheet. After this student registration details, I'm going to paste it. So table slash table. Okay. Now in this, we have the text boxes, the radio buttons, the check boxes. All these are not required because we are showing the response. So all these things will be replaced. So how am I going to do it? The first column will remain as it is. In the second column, all these text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, all these are not required. So we are going to remove everything from the second column. So let's go ahead and let's do that thing. So how am I going to do it? Let's go right at the top. So you have this first name, and after first name I don't need this text box. Okay, I don't need this text box. How am I going to do it? I'm going to remove that text box. Okay, So I don't need, this is the first column. Remember, this first name is required. This first name is required. The second part is not required. So second part is not required. How am I going to do it? I'm going to remove it and just put it here. I will use the PHP expression here. Okay. Let me use the PHP expression. So this is PHP expression. Within this PHP expression, remember we are using the post method. So I'm going to use this post, and within this post array, I will search for the name. What is this name that I am talking about? Remember, I have given the variable name for this first name. The variable name is f name. So I'm searching for the f name. Definitely the label is valid only for this text boxes. We don't have the text box, so I will remove this label because it's not going to make any difference in our project. So I don't need this label. Okay. So in the first column, I will get the first name, right in front of it the name of it. So let me save it. Control S to save it, and let me go here and let's just click on the register. So what you notice, where is it gone? Did I saved it? Okay, let me try one more time. Let me, I have to refresh this one. Let me go back. Let me refresh it. Remember, even though I've done everything, but I changed this action. After action, I have to rerun this form, otherwise it won't work. Okay, I'm going to just run this one, and I will not waste your time in typing. I will just pause the video. I have filled it for you so that the video can be saved. So this is what you have. Now suppose if I click on register, now you notice that Anita and her name is coming. So only this part, first name, well not sorry, this one, the response part, first name and Anita. This part is shown here, first name and Anita. I'm going to go back. Now I will make it as last name and whatever the name. I will say Anita AK. So two values will come. So the last name has to come. How am I going to do it? Again, same thing. The label is not required. So I'm going to remove this label, and this label is also not required. Okay. I will use a PHP script here. And what is the name that we have given? So $_post last name required part, and these are not required. So just and close that expression, PHP expression. Save it, and you say last name and post name. That is the name that I have given it for this variable. That is the name that I am showing here. So if I save it, let's say saved. Okay, if I save and submit it, and you notice something TD has come here. So let's look at what is that TD. So you have the last name and AK. I think I made some TD mistake. So here I removed one extra there. Okay. Now let me try it. Okay. You see, last name Anita, AK, done. What's the next thing? Next thing is the address. So let me do the same thing. For the address, I don't need this label. So I'm going to remove it. I don't need this label. So I'm going to remove it. Then I need this PHP script here. So equal to PHP. And I said post $, there is a $_post, and add is the variable name that I've used, and the remaining part is not required. So I'll just remove it. So done, and finally closing of PHP. So that is done. So the next one is the address, and if you save it and if you try it, you notice the next one is the address. Let's do it for the email and mobile. So I'm going to go and do it for the email and mobile. So again, the same thing. I don't need the label. I'm deleting it. So I'm going to remove the label part. Then put the PHP tag here. Delete up to here. $_post. Open the square bracket. Delete the other part which is not required. And then open it again. And this part is not required. Delete it. Use backspace or anything. Close the PHP. Done. I'm going to do it even for the mobile now. So I will do it for the mobile. Remove the mobile, and this label is not really required. Done. Then as usual, PHP expression, remove it. $_post. Open the square bracket. Delete that one. That's not required. Mobile, and close the square bracket. This part is not required, but instead of that, you are going to close the PHP tag. Same thing I'm going to do it for the city. I will not waste your time by showing the output. The same story we are supposed to do it for the city also. So city, same thing, and question mark equal to $_post. Open square bracket, delete it, close it, and this part is not really required. Instead of this, I'm going to put the PHP tag. Done. I will do it even for the state because this is going to be too much of laborious work. That is it. So you need to try this whole thing. And what is this? So this is $_post, and open this bracket, delete that one. That's not really required. Close the square bracket, and you're going to put question mark here. Star is not required. Done with it. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to just submit it. I have done up to here. So up to here I have done it. Now for the gender, what is the name of the variable? So you notice that both of them have the same name. So let me go ahead and let me do that part. So again, the label part remains same. You don't need anything for the label. So that part is same. What about here? So here you start with the question mark equal to, as usual, question mark equal to. As usual, you say $_post. Done, and close it. Okay. This male, female, and all these things are not really matter, so they are not going to come in between. So I'm going to delete the next input part. This whole thing is not required. Okay, so I'm going to delete the remaining part, only this part. How you have done it for the other one, the same thing you are doing it. Post gender, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to just put it here. Only the name of the variable. What is the name of the variable that I gave it for the gender? If you notice the gender, the name of the variable that I have given is name of the variable that I gave here is gender. Okay. And I'm using that gender here like the previous cases. I'm using that one only. I'm not doing any extra thing. Let me save it and let's go ahead and submit it. So you can select male or female, whichever name you have selected. Let me submit it. What happened? Let me, what happened? Let's see. give me some error. Okay, I know it didn't submit it. So if you notice here, up to female I have done it. So suppose if I change it male and register, it will appear as male. Why this is coming male or female or anything? What is it trying to show is this value. Let's go to the form. The value that whatever you have typed. So male you have typed, female you have typed. This value you are going to get it. Okay. So that value will come as the response. If you click, that value will come as the response. Now let's go ahead with the other part. What about this hobbies? So hobbies, the option remains same, but when it comes to the hobbies, now anyone can be selected. In this case of the hobbies, anyone can be selected, or more than one can be selected, or all of them are be selected, or none of them can be selected. Now in the previous case, only one choice is there, either male or female, or if you have cross gender, it's one more. Okay. Whereas in this case, that is a transgender, you have the other option. But one of them has to be selected. Here, somebody can select all the three. They may say that my hobbies is reading, singing, and dancing, or somebody may say that none of them, or some of them may say I like reading and dancing. So there are many choices. So when you try to show the values, what is it going to come? So let's do it, and I'm going to make changes to the options. So first part is same. I don't need this label. I don't need this label. First part remains same. Okay. Second part is also kind of same. So you say PHP part, then up to here, as usual, you say post. Okay. This part is also same. Then question mark. This is done. All the other options are not required. As usual, as in the previous case, if I just go back and if I show you how it is going to appear, you will, sorry, am I changing it to, okay, just copy this one. I'm doing it in the EX1, sorry, as I talk and start doing it. I'm going to make changes to everything. Okay, I think I have to do it not in this one. I've selected the wrong file. Sorry about that. Okay. For this I have undone all the things. I am supposed to do it in the response. So as I talk and do it, I think I did it here also in the same thing. Okay, I am in the wrong file, sorry, and I am supposed to do it in the response. So here, this is not required. And what I did was I just will show it here. Okay. If you look at the previous one, and where is this? You look at this previous options and the current option, they are not going to change much. If you look at all the previous one also, you are just showing this one, you are showing this expression, and within the post you give the variable name. However, only in this case there is one minor problem. So let me show you what is the problem, and then we will find the solution for it. So if I make remaining, these are not of any choice. If I say reading and singing and submit, you notice that only singing is coming. The last option is coming. If I say reading, singing, and dancing, and then show only dancing is coming, the first two choices are not coming. Okay. So if I say just reading, reading will come. So what is the problem? The problem is there are multiple values are there. See, in the previous case, there is only one value. Even though there are multiple choices are there, value selected is only one. Whereas in this case, multiple choices are there, and multiple selection can also be possible. So If you want more than one values to be stored within a variable, so if you want more than one value, then what you do is you create arrays. So you know how you created a of 0, a of 1, a of 2. You create an array. Then you say that array of 0 is equal to something. Then you say array of 1 is equal to something. So you know how to do that. So you are supposed to create an array so that you say array of 0 is this one, array of 1 is this one, array of 2 is something else. So in my case, if you look at this exb1, that is the original form, I have just given the name as a variable, but it is not array. How do you create an array? You know very well. To create an array, you say a, if arr is an array, or if a is an array, then you say a and then you put the square bracket. And if you say arr is an array, then you put open bracket and close bracket. Similarly, if you want hobbies to be an array, what you are going to do? You are going to open the bracket and close the bracket. Open the bracket and open the bracket and close the bracket. Open the bracket and close the bracket. So what I am saying now is this is not a ordinary variable. This is not ordinary variable. This is an array. Okay. So why it is an array? Because I made it as an array. Now what difference will it make? I'm going to just save it. Remember, once I make changes to this one, I cannot submit it. I have to reload it. So either you right click and run it, or you click here and press enter. You refill the value. Okay. And let's say Vijay Mangalore. And if I now select a few options and then submit it, you see that you get an error. What is an error is because what you submitted here is an array. Now this has become an array. This has become an array. Okay. But what you are reading is you are reading it as like a ordinary variable. Okay. So that is what it is just saying. If I submit it, it is saying that. Now you said that it is an array. Now you are expecting me to treat it as a string, that is as a value. I cannot do it. So what to do? Now you have now this hobbies, what you have here. So hobbies is an array. So hobbies of 0 is something. Okay. Hobbies of 1 is something, and so on. Hobbies of 2 is something. So what is this something? The first one may be reading, second reading, second one may be singing, third one may be dancing. So you have to treat like the array. You cannot treat it like this one. But these values has to be shown as a text here. So I have to convert whatever values it is there. You may have readings here. All of them have to be converted into text. How do you do that? You know, because you studied PHP, you know that if at all you want to convert something into a text, then you have to, an array into a comma separated text, then there is a function called as implode in PHP. So let's look at that option. So I'm going to say here, you don't show it like a ordinary text. This is an array. So this is an array with multiple values. So whatever value that is typed within this array, whatever values that you have here, convert them as a comma separated text. How to do it? You have a built-in function in PHP, and that function is called as implode. Implodes joins the element of the array as a string. Okay, so it is However, you must notice that this is deprecated as of when and it is removed and so on and so forth. Okay, so there are some problem is there, but the implode is still there. So I'm going to use the implode function. So implode has two options. First one is these values are there. Which are these values? The reading, singing, and dancing. These values are there. I want to convert them as a string. How do you want to convert them? So the first one I want to convert it as a reading. And then what is a separation? Do you want to put a comma separation? Do you want to put a hash as a separation? Do you want to put a colon as separation, semicolon? How do you want to separate one value from the other? So this is the first value, this is the second value. How do you want to separate them? So that is what it is asking. What is the separator? Generally we put the comma as the separator. Reading, comma, singing, comma, dancing. So I'm going to say my separator is a comma. So I want a comma separated value. So I want reading, comma, singing, comma, and then what is the name of the array? Array name is already there. So I'm going to just cut it and I'm going to put it here. This is the array name. Hobbies is the array name. You don't have to put the square bracket here. It's not required. It is an array. Let's assume that it is an array. So let me save it and let me try one more time. Okay, let me go back and let me submit it. So now you see reading one text. Let me slightly zoom in for you. So reading one text, comma, you notice that there is this comma is there, comma, then see these people are making it too complicated. So let me, I'm going to do it now. So reading, then you have this comma. Notice that there is this comma is there, and then you have the singing. Okay, reading, singing is there. Okay, and what if you put all the three here? Now let me go back, and I will select all the three and submit. Then you say reading, singing, dancing. What if you select only one of them? So the reading means reading. If I go back and no, only dancing, you get only dancing. But there is one minor problem. What is that minor problem? Minor problem is somebody can say that I am not interested in all the three. In that case, what to do? Okay. In that case, you are in big trouble. Okay. Without selecting anything, if you try to click on the register button, you get a problem. What is the problem is you notice that there is nothing is being selected. What is the meaning? Nothing is being selected. Nothing is being selected means when you, let's go back here, when you don't make anything, when you don't select any values here, no values are set. So in the post that request that is sent, the post request that is sent, no values of hobbies will be sent. Hobby will be blank. It will not be sent. And that is what it is saying. Now this hobby, because you have not selected anything, it will not send this hobby option itself to the server. So the server says that you don't have anything there. That itself is undefined. Hobbies itself is not there. That is not sent to me. So I have to, because on this problem occurs only for this option, because there is a choice that somebody can select all of them, somebody can select some of them, or worst part is somebody can make no selection. So in this case, this problem will occur. So what is the solution? Before I implode, where is this? Before I implode, I must ensure that at least some values are there. Okay. If none of the values are there, then there is no point in imploding. There is no point in connecting them and separating them with the comma. That option is not there. So I'm going to, before I implode it, I'm going to say that if the values are set here. If any values are set here, then only I will implode it. Otherwise, I will not implode it. How do I say that? So I'm going to use the if statement. Now this if statement is not the big if statement. The short form of a if statement. What is the short form of a if statement? This is the ternary operator. So there is a condition and a question mark. If the condition is true, you do the first part. If the condition is false, you do the second part. So you have a condition followed by a question mark. If the condition is true, do the first part. If the condition is false, do the second part. So I'm going to do the same thing. So what is the condition? Condition is whether any value is set for this hobbies. How do I do that thing? You know that is set. This is the one that we are always using. If is set within the post method, if value of hobbies is set. So if this value is set to hobbies post means if this value is set. So that is, how do I do it? I put a condition. What is the condition? If this value for the hobbies is set. If this is set, then you have a condition. If it is true, if this condition is true, that means anything is set, then do the first part. That is, you explode it and you implode it, comma separated values, you get the comma separated values. This is general case. What if this value, no values are set here? What if none of the values are set here? If none of the values are set here, you say that there is no hobby for this person. So how am I going to say? After this implode, I put a comma, I put a colon and then say none. None. I'm going to use the word none. So what is this? If this condition is true, question mark, then do this. If this condition is false, then do this part. If this condition is true, implode it. If the condition is false, show it has none. Okay. So let's go ahead and see the things in action. So if some values are set, then if some values are set, then implode it. Then implode it. Okay. If none of the values are set, that means if it is not set, is false, then say the choice is none. That is hobbies is none. Where is it? Oh, sorry. I have not saved it. Sorry. I didn't save it. Let me try it one more time. If this value, so if any values is set, then implode it. If none of the values are set, then say none. It's done. Now the last part is about this blood group, and blood group you have to select any one of them. So it is a obvious one. You need to have one selection there. I'm going to go here, and as usual, the label is not required. I will remove this label part. Label is not required. And what else is not required? So this part I'll put equal to the name of this one was blood. You notice I gave the name for this one as blood. Okay. And question mark this. The other part, whatever it is there, that is not required. They are all not required. If you notice, it comes like this one only. How you see it in the previous case, comes like this only. Let me delete all the things. So you notice it is like the previous case. You have a TD and you have the blood inside it, and this blood is a dollar underscore post because it is part of the post request there. So this is the same. You notice this is same as the previous case. Only thing is, instead of gender, it has come as blood. So let me save it and let me submit it. You see blood group is A positive, and if I say AB negative, the blood group will be AB negative. The register button is not really required. So I'm going to go here and I will remove this whole row itself because I don't need this last row. This row itself is not required because it's not going to make any difference. I'm going to delete that. So I will just keep up to blood group. Then let me go back and let me click on register, and you notice it has come. So this is the exercise that you are supposed to do it. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the other exercise. Thank you.